Christians, do you realize that the belief in an eternal punishment and eternal hell flies in the face of the contradictions of your God and your Jesus, your Old Testament and your New Testament? Because an eternal hell means that people will be punished for whatever iniquities this God has decided is enough for them to go into this lake of fire for all eternity and never be forgiven. Flies in the face of one semi-consistent theme within your Bible. You see, one of the consistent themes in your Bible is the fact that the people who are supposed to be the children of this God, no matter how many times they offend this God always forgives them in some form or fashion, or figures out a way for them to have some type of redemption, even though he created the situation in the very beginning. But we're going to not focus on that. That was in a video I did yesterday. But think about this critically. The children of Israel, although suffered for generations, a form of redemption came to them. They had sacrifices they can offer. They were, in the story, brought out of Egypt. Every time someone committed some type of sin against this guy, whether it's David, whether it is Jacob, no matter who it was, there was a way for them to be redeemed to this God. Even Cain had a redemption path, according to this Bible. Your God demonstrates in weird ways of forgiveness in the Old Testament. And then in the New Testament, he says that Jesus tells you that you should forgive your brothers 7 times 70. That forgiveness is always a theme in your Bible until you get to Revelations. Revelation flies in the face of forgiveness of your God. And if your God is always and forever the same type of being, then your God should still have a forgiving heart. It's an interesting thing that, and correct me if I'm wrong, whoever is Islamic on here or studied the Quran, that even in Islam, when you go to hell, you're only there temporarily until you have fulfilled your karmic debt, so to speak. And then you will be able to go to heaven once you've been punished enough. But in Christianity, it is an eternal damnation with no opportunity of forgiveness once the facts have been laid before your feet. Think about it like this, Christians. Think about it. Take a person like myself. I do not believe in your God. I do not believe in your Jesus. Therefore, according to your story, my name would not be found in the book of life. Therefore, my soul will be thrown into this lake of fire. Now, at the moment that those things occur, I will then say, well, damn, Jesus was real. The lake of fire is real. Now, according to most Christians, they're going to say, well, it's too late. It's too late now. It's too late for you to have that realization, that epiphany. But the facts would have been laid before me because I'm now in your lake of fire. So now the facts are here. So with those facts, I would then accept it. It's not a belief. It is a knowing now. I know Jesus is real. There wasn't enough evidence for me in the matter plane of existence, but in this plane of existence, your Jesus is real. If your God was a truly forgiving God, as he has demonstrated throughout the entirety of this book, then even at that point, there would be a road of forgiveness, a path of redemption. And the fact that I myself, nor his first children who revolted against him, do not have a path of redemption demonstrates a deity who claims to be a forgiving God, but at the end of the day is not a forgiving God. So which one is it? Is your God forgiving or is he not? Is it on a time limit, like he's forgiving as long as you're in the mortal realm, but once you reach the spiritual realm, you cannot be forgiven because of your thought process in the mortal realm, in a realm where there wasn't evidence, in a realm where you couldn't prove any of the things of your Bible? in that place, I'm supposed to believe. But now when I'm faced with the facts of it, I can accept it and know it. I mean, think about it. Your children of Israel had pillars of fire, clouds by day, water spouting out of rocks, seabeds opening up, plagues and stuff happening. They had all the evidence given to them to know it. The people in the first century walked around with Jesus, healing people who were blind, healing lame people, feeding 5,000 people with a 2-piece fish sandwich. They had all the evidence, and they were given the evidence so that they can know, not believe, so that they can know. But for the last 2,000 years, your God hasn't done anything so that people will know your God exists. So what makes those people so much more special? That they get to know by evidence presented to them in the mortal realm. But for everybody else, they just have to believe it. And if they don't just believe it, they go to eternal damnation. Does that sound like a good God? Does that sound like a just God? Does that sound like a loving God? Does that sound like a forgiving God? It does not. Not in any shape or form. So I want y'all to think about that and think critically. And always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration.